working, right? Alright, hello everyone. It's me, Shane Lee. The purpose of this video is to show you that A, I'm driving in my car, and B, I'm driving aware. C, I'm recording from my phone, but I'm not texting, alright? You can do certain things with your phone as long as it's not illegal, right? You can talk on your phone as long as you're not too distracted, and you can record from your phone as long as you're not too distracted, right? Now, the purpose of this is to show you I've been off through Port Wentworth this morning, and as I'm driving through Port Wentworth, it's campaign season. Tim Holbrook and Barberry are again running for council. But I have not yet seen, after driving all the way through Port Wentworth, any signs for either one of them in Port Wentworth. I've been to Lakeshore, I've been all through Port Wentworth, right? I've been through Rice Hope and downtown Port Wentworth too, right? There's not a sign for anyone in those two areas, right? Now, Barberry put up a sign in my yard for Rufus and Shirley, Shirley, but not himself, and no one, not him or Tim, put up a sign in all of Port Wentworth either. Now, the purpose of this, though, is to show you my trip monitor and read it to you. My average miles per gallon is 31 miles. My average miles per hour is 31. My ET is 77 minutes and 39 seconds. My trip is 2,458.7 miles. My B trip is the same, 2,458.8 miles. My range is 113 miles, meaning I have 4 bars left. Right. So that should get me 113 more miles. My average miles per gallon is 28.4. Right. My current miles per gallon is fluctuating between odd numbers, anywhere right now at 29 miles per gallon. Right. Now, I haven't been anywhere all weekend, but yesterday I went to Rincon, which is less than 12 miles there and back, right? Because I live in Rice Creek, which is about 4 miles from Rincon, right? About 2 from Port Wentworth, right? Now, I went through all the subdivision, Rice Hope, Lakeshore, and downtown Port Wentworth. And I ain't seen a damn sign up for councilman between Tim or Barberry, right? Thomas Barberry, the man he's running against. Now, when I get back, there'll be a sign up in my yard for Rufus and Shirley, right? But not for Tim or Thomas, right? Now, I've been all through Port Wentworth this morning, but you still see my average is pretty high. I know. It's averaging good gas mileage, right? It's over 36.1 now, right? And fluctuating, right? But that's how you get an average gas mileage, right? Now, I had half a tank of gas before I went to Rincon, right? Now it's down 2 bars, so what? Someone siphoned in my gas. And that proves it, asshole. That's stealing someone's gas even at $2 a gallon, please. By the way. Now, the thing is, like I told you about Grandma. The child lived with Grandma for at least 2 to 3 years, according to my ex-wife, right? Before she moved in with me after we met. Right? Right. That's what she told me. One. Two. I know. All I indicated is I was asleep on the couch because of a fight me and my wife had on the way to visit our family and pick up the child, right? Which was our plan, right? And we went in a little off-yellow BMW. Now, here's a sign for mayor, Norton Mayor, alright? But there ain't no other sign in all the subdivisions in Fort Worth, not in downtown, not in Rice Hope, and not in Lakeshore, which are the 3 subdivisions of Fort Worth. The major ones, alright? And again, Mayor Norton Thomas has 3 for Rufus, Shirley, and Norton, or Dahl. I'll show you more when I get in my yard. I know. Now, Thomas asked me if he could use my yard to campaign. It's Rufus Bright for council and Shirley Dow for district yard. Now, the miles per gallon is at 0. The average is miles per hour is 31. The ET is 77.44, whatever that means. The trip is 2,461.2 miles, and the overall is 2,465, right? The next trip is 2,461.2. The range, the remainder of the miles is 112 miles. And I have 4 bars left, which means what? That's over 125 miles per gallon, right? If I only went to Lincoln yesterday, right? That's 12 miles. I should, if I was at 6 bars when I left, and now I'm at 4. 2 bars are missing. I ain't went nowhere. I only went through downtown Fort Wentworth, right? Lake Shore and Rice Hope, right? And I ain't got to do all that again. That's still what? Only a few miles, right? Not even 6 or even 10. I'll give it 10, right? And again, I saw no other campaign signs up, not for Tim or for Thomas. And again, that's odd too, ain't it? And now I'm back home. Now we're back home. So again, who's acting strange? Tim and Thomas. Why? Tim hired me under the table. Meaning he wasn't going to pay taxes on me. But he didn't have to, right? Because I'm disabled. And even a disabled person can have a work program. In that work program, as long as I don't make over $890 a month, I don't have to report it to the IRS. If I make over that, over 9 months, then yeah, I got to report it. But Tim knows what? You ain't made over $800 both years I was working for him, alright? And I'm pretty sure it's around the same amount, alright? Both years, right? This is the Obama era, right? 1, that's how Tim was screwing me one way or the other. And 2, the first day I worked for him, Tim paid me $10. Even if I worked an hour and a half to 2 hours, right? That's more than $10 anyway. Reason for that is he hired me at $7.25 an hour, right? Well, $3.35, right, or so, $3.45, or more accurately, $3.47 and a half, right, is what I should have gotten paid if I worked an hour and a half to 2 hours, which would have been $14.50, right? He paid me $10, so he owed me at least $1.47, right? He only paid me $10, right? If I worked 2 hours, he owed me $4.50. He never paid me that, and I let it go the first time, right? Now, what caused me to have a problem with him is what? I got a credit card delivery, and the guy signed the credit card and gave me a $20 tip, and acted like there was a little bit more, but I figured he knew what he was doing, right? But when I got back to the store, Tim charged me way more than the guy I thought tipped me. So we had a falling out over that, and I quit, right? And told him to shove that $8 up his ass. Then, I started trying to get me another job at Publix. Well, I ain't got one at Publix in over 5 to 6 months, right? So I'm going to quit with that too. Now I'm trying to drive for Uber or Lyft. I don't know which one yet. It all depends on who wants to work it out with me the most, right? But like I said, I can prove someone's messing with me right now. My average miles per gallon is 28.3. I ain't even went 15 miles, even going through Port Wentworth in over a week. And when I was in my car last, it was at 6 miles. I mean, 6 bars, right? Or 6 gallons. Which, if I'm getting 28.3 miles per gallon as an average, that's what times 2. 60 miles. Rounded off, or 56.6 miles, right? Now, if I only went to Rincon and back, which is 8 miles, right? And then to Rice Creek a little bit, rode through there, that's about, say, a mile, right? Then down to Lakeshore, that's about 4 miles. And then down what's it called? Meanhart Road, right? Meanhard, I think that's how I say it. That's another mile, right? And then down Bonnie Bridge, and then down to downtown, and then up Crossgate. And I ain't seen a campaign sign all through Port Wentworth for Tim or Barberry. Tim Holbrook and Thomas Barberry. And they're having their elections for council and district this year too. Because that's every 2 years. And mayor every 2 years. So 2018 we're going to have a new mayor, new this or new that, right? That's what they're campaigning for. Now my proof is that someone's messing with my car, meaning they're siphoning my gas. Because when I was in the car last, I had 6 gallons of gas, right? Now I only have 4, right? I ain't been nowhere but Rincon, which is 8 miles, and like I told you, I just drove through Port Wentworth tonight. Now I'm down 2 bars, so someone took at least 2 gallons of gas, right? Which your average gas tank, like the ones I have, hold at least 2 to 3 gallons, right? So meaning they siphoned the gas from the car, and again, that's the what? Only $4. See, the police can't do nothing about it unless it's over $1,500 anyway, and that's why I can't do nothing about it legally, but let people know what's going on. That's all I can do in certain cases, right? See, I know the law. They do not. And they don't want to keep the law either. And like I said, I can prove it to you what they're doing. I know. They're trying to get me out of either Port Wentworth or Rice Creek. Now, when I was in Garden City, I had very little problems, right? But not until I got to Port Wentworth did I start having problems. That's the point there, too. See, I don't normally do anything illegal. At all. I'm a homebody or sleep. Or I go exercising or walking through the neighborhood. That's it. Or I'm on the internet doing my videos teaching people to impersonate the voices. So that's all I do. And nothing else. I can entertain myself by myself, right? I'm fine alone. Because I learned a long time ago, you're born alone and you die alone, right? If you can't get that through your thick head, you're living on the wrong planet. If you don't love yourself enough to realize when you're doing right or wrong and to stop yourself from doing something wrong, you're in a bad way, like Satan, right? Satan. Or the evil one, or whatever you want to call him. That's what I call him, the evil one. The evil one. Who's playing God to us. And we're so messed up about it that we don't know God loves us and Satan judges and hates us and wants us all dead. Wonder who's whom. But he don't have the power of life and death. Only God does, the spirit within our bodies. That's the whole point. So anyway, that's what I'm doing this morning as I'm going about and about, out and about. And they took at least 2 gallons from my car. And I'll show you how I know. This here is an average gas container, alright? And normally they contain about 1 gallon of gas. 1 gallon, 4 ounces, or 3.9 liters. One. Now, in order to siphon the gas, someone would have to have a key if I lock the door, right? Right. Now, this is the only way you can unlock the door is with this or the key. Now, several times when I came outside and unlocked the door, it would lock mysteriously, Thomas! I always feel like somebody's watching me and I have no privacy. That's for them too, right? Whoever's doing this to me is obviously an asshole. I know. And like I told you, I know when people start acting strange around me and I'm doing nothing wrong. I know. When I decided to sign up for Uber, Miss Thompson the other day said she was going to get a ride with me. I know. Then the next morning I woke up and her son's over here picking her up. Now only Jason or him could know I was looking into Uber. I know. Now this is what people call scare tactics to make someone panic. But what am I showing you? You don't panic. I don't panic. I know it all. I know it all. And see, all I'm doing is busting the real bad guys. Which to me is Thomas and now Tim. And like I said, now I got a bigger one here too. This one holds 2 gallons probably, But normally these are your normal size. Yeah, this is 2 gallons, 7.6 liters. That's the most gas someone can siphon from you. Anyway. See what I mean, Vern? Right. And when you point the finger at someone else, there's always 3 pointing back at you, right? Now, obviously, Tim and Barberry aren't even running for council this year. They didn't even put up any signs. So don't vote for either one of them. Vote for Shirley or Rufus, I guess. Or the mayor, if you want. I don't even know if Tim or Thomas are running this year. So anyway, the whole point into this, though, is to show you people will screw people over if they want to. I know. I don't generally do that because I don't want to. I know. But anyone can screw anyone over. I just don't normally do it. Right? And the reason why I can get away with the worst case scenario is the child said grandma showed her that, right? Now that means either someone coached her to say grandma, or she knew the difference between me and her grandma, and she was living with her grandma for 2 to 3 years. Now, grandmas normally undress and dress their children. They also play with them and stick out their tongues and things of that nature, right? Also, either grandpa undressed in front of her a few times, or grandma used a dildo. I can't say which happened. But whatever could have happened, if I was undressed in front of her or things like that, she was used to it, right? She didn't act weird about it, right? And she didn't call out for her mom like the other little girl across the street, the blonde with the blue eyes, Marceline. You remember her. Whose mom came over and told you what I did. That was around the time I got into the fight with the little boy in the cardboard box, and we were fighting over the fort, right? Too. Across the street, too, right? He had brown hair, and so did I, and we were similarly complected. And, of course, Pam, right? Me and Pam tried to have sex at 4 or 5, right? Get over it, Pam. Unless Harvey was using that as an excuse to bless you, whatever. Tired of your shit, too, I know. Tired of all your shits. Tired of you lying on me, tired of you lying on yourselves, and tired of your lies. Everyone's lying about me or to me, I know. And the only one trying to see the whole truth, it looks like, and tell people the truth, it looks like, is me. Well, I'm not a tattletale, I'm just telling the truth. And that's what I generally do. Now, there was only 2 times I blacked out in my life. The car accident and the 3-story fall, right? Though everyone has memory problems if it's something simple or mundane, right? Or normal thing or an abnormal thing, right? Some things you remember and some things you don't, right? All I'm telling you is I'm piecing together through someone's constant harassment that something could have happened minorly between me and my stepdaughter if I was sleeping on the couch and she somehow managed to wander into the living room on her own, or Daphne purposely sent her in there to me. All right. Daphne Andrea Walker sent her 4-year-old daughter, Amanda Blissetti Lauren, also known as, in the living room to me while I was asleep on the couch. And Jonathan was still in her womb for another 3 months until November, right? This happened towards the end of August. Before September, probably 2 weeks before September too, right? We went to go pick her up, right? Now, on the computer, I'm going to show you a calendar of 1994 and August of 1994, right? And again. Now, sticking out your tongue, playing with the child, undressing the child is normal for who? A biological parent, a step parent, a foster parent, and an adoptive parent. Any parent can undress their child if they wander in there to the middle of the night and they're confused about what they want, right? And the child don't ask for water or anything either. She's just sort of standing there interacting with you that way, maybe. As you're waking up with her in there with you. And after you just went to sleep and turned off the TV too. No TV was on, only a light in the living room. So I could safely sleep through the night. Right? Now the child went in there with her mother around 9 o'clock and I went to bed around 11. Right? All I know is sometimes between 11 and 6 to 6:30 in the morning, the child could have came in there to me. Not saying she did, to my knowledge, nor did my wife, when confronted by the police, say it ever happened. Right? She said it never happened. Right? Because she can't lie to the police whether it happened in her mind or not either. Or she's disqualifying herself from testifying, right? If the police call you in an investigation and you say it never happened, right? Either it never happened or it did and you're just lying, right? It's always two things, right? And if it did and you're lying, you're covering for those who made you do it, right? Because again, a sane mother, unless the law was involved, would not involve her child at all unless it's a bait, right? Now, looking back, hindsight's always 20/20. But the thing is, when you're asleep and you're just diagnosed with a mental illness and you're a little groggy after her waking you up, by you either sensing her present while you're sleeping on the couch and then you wake up with her in there with you, and she's in her underwear or t-shirt or something like that. I think I remember her sleeping in that before I went to bed, right? Before they went to bed, she was in her underwear and t-shirt, right? And I watched TV till around 11 and went to bed myself, right? That's a normal night for a normal family, too. We ate dinner or something and then went to bed. And them a little bit earlier than me, because children normally go to bed between 8 and 9, right? That age. Early to bed, early to wise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise, right? Right. So all I'm telling you is things that might could have happened. Now, how do I know the girl could have woke me up? Well, she was 4, and people don't sleep on the couch like Brandon, Crystal, Granddad, and Grandma. And no one would ever tell her, Daphne, to wake up your grandma, your grandpa, your brother, your uncle, or your aunt, or use their names. I don't know Mr. Walker's first name, but I know theirs, right? So Brandon Walker, Crystal Walker, and Barbara Walker could have been woken up on the couch themselves a time or two. Now, the thing is, if Daphne put her in there to the room with me, I don't remember that, right? Why? Because it would be less than a minute if that story happened anyway. And I am just in front of her not thinking about it, right? Initially. But when I did think about it, I realized, hey, I'm in here with her naked. I better dress her. Who showed you that? And she said, Grandma. So I told Daphne she put her vagina in my face, which would be a logical thing to tell her. You don't want to tell her too much information, but the child interacted with me sexually, right? And said Grandma showed her that. And we talked about it. We'll talk about it normally for a few minutes, and then we go back to sleep, right? Now, after I tell her that, job is it to call the police? Mine or hers? Hers. Who's the legally sane person? Me or her? Her. Mm-hmm. Did she call the police? Yes or no? No. Mm-hmm. Or I would have been in jail by then. The fall happened 2 weeks later. 2 to 3 weeks later, at the longest. That's all I know. And you can't prove anything else. I'm the original Shane Lee, even if the guy who knocked me out or thought he killed me or whatever, thought he killed me. Now, ninjas can fake death and lower their heart rate to where it appears they're dead and then revive, right? I've heard that in the movie. I don't know if it's real, whatever. But the same thing could have happened at the car accident, too. Because I don't even remember turning down the road, and it's like at least 3 minutes from the road to Dead Man's Curve, right? Meaning if I fell, I would fall immediately, and either land in the fall or be injured in the fall. But if I went around to the front and got into a fight because I told them all I was looking into the fall and they didn't believe me, and they started fighting me and I broke one of their arms or stuff like that. And then they called security, and the security guard tried to beat me up and kill me, right? And made sure I was dead before letting them call the ambulance. But I revived sometime between the ambulance and the ER. Someone changed their story along the way. The guy who said he found me said I was laying on the ground coming to, like anyone could do that, and pointed up to the roof to indicate I had fallen from the roof. That's normal, ain't it? No, that ain't suspicious either, is it? You would be perfectly awake if you had these kind of injuries that I showed you on YouTube, right? And you supposedly hit your head falling 8 feet to the ledge below you anyway. Because you got a crack in your skull about 6 inches. Either from the car accident or the 3-story fall. Which I can't prove that either. Why? Because of the neck injury, right? And the head trauma, which there's a hairline fracture still noticeable in the skull, which any medic or ET or EMT can see, right? A nurse, a doctor, a YIT, or an EMT can all see that, right? I see it fine. Now it either happened at the car accident, and when they ran the gave me the hospital report, the accident report. Either they faked it and said I only had a lot facet at the C1, C2, the possibility of it, right? Or they completely lied about it and I was injured, right? But I was functioning normally, right? Now what normally happens when the C1 and C2 compress, you're paralyzed, right? Because that would involve the spinal cord. Because the C1 and C2 are supposed to be about a quarter of an inch to a half inch apart. Now mine are too close together for that to be true, right? Way too close. So I know I was hit in the head, not with the windshield, but a bat or something of that nature. Either aluminum or wood. So that means me and Little Roddy made it to Vivian's. And that means either Vivian or Mark, someone close to Little Roddy, attacked me. Now Mark's a small-ass motherfucker. Don't let him fool you. And he looks like a girl to me now. Though he's supposed to be dead. Now you don't think Mark